Do you ever feel like you're your own toughest opponent in the game of life? In a world where self-criticism seems like a second language, it's time we shift the narrative and start being kinder to ourselves. From honoring our promises to embracing our fears, the journey of self-love is packed with transformative steps that redefine our relationship with ourselves. But how do we start this profound journey? And what are the tangible steps we can take to nurture a more compassionate self-relationship? Okay, so here are the 6 steps, and you may want to take notes. 1. Keep promises to yourself. Practice self-compassion. We've all been there, promising ourselves we'll do something and then letting it slide. Breaking promises to yourself can be detrimental to your self-esteem and confidence. It's easy to start small, like skipping the gym or avoiding a difficult conversation, but these small failures add up over time, chipping away at your self-trust and self-worth. When we consistently let ourselves down, we create a pattern of self-doubt that makes it harder to set and achieve future goals. We start questioning if we're even capable of achieving our goals. It's a vicious cycle of self-doubt and insecurity. Do you ever feel there's a voice in the back of your mind saying, "Why bother? You'll probably fail again anyway"? You see, you can break free from this cycle. Start by keeping promises to yourself, as it reaffirms your value and your capabilities. It builds self-respect and reinforces the belief that you are a priority in your own life. Just as you wouldn't tolerate a friend who constantly broke your promises, it's time to stop doing the same to yourself. Each time you honor a commitment to yourself, it strengthens your self-trust and motivates you to set even more ambitious goals. It creates a positive cycle where each success reinforces your self-esteem, propelling you towards your next accomplishment. 2. Listen to yourself, your needs, and set boundaries. Respecting yourself means honoring your needs and setting boundaries that reflect your worth. It's about recognizing that your desires, wants, and needs matter just as much as anyone else's. Before you can set boundaries, you want to get clear on what's truly important to you. What are your core values, goals, and preferences? Take a moment to reflect and write down your thoughts. This self-awareness will help you communicate your boundaries clearly and confidently. Boundaries come in different forms: psychological, emotional, and physical. Psychological boundaries are what you choose to share or keep private. Emotional boundaries determine how much you allow others' behavior to affect you. And physical boundaries establish your comfort levels around personal space and touch. Remember, saying no to things or people who drain your energy is self-care, not selfishness. When you respect your own boundaries, you create space for relationships, activities, and environments that truly nourish you. 3. Be mindful how you talk to and about yourself. Let's now have a heart-to-heart about how we treat ourselves. Do you ever catch yourself being your own worst critic? Maybe you're quick to point out flaws or shortcomings, or perhaps you've mastered the art of negative self-talk. The way we speak to ourselves matters. Just like how we lose trust in someone who constantly puts us down, we can lose trust in ourselves when we're overly critical. Negative self-talk is like having a mean roommate in your head, constantly nitpicking and doubting everything you do. It's exhausting and downright damaging to our self-esteem. Sure, a little self-criticism here and there is normal, but when it becomes a daily habit, it can take a toll on our mental health. It's like a toxic cloud that follows us around, blocking out any rays of positivity or self-acceptance. You always have the power to silence your inner critic. It begins with identifying those negative thinking patterns. Think of it as shining a light on the shadows in your mind. One way to do this is keep a journal. Write down those annoying thoughts as they pop up. Trust me, seeing them on paper can help put things into perspective. Talking to a trusted friend or seeking professional help can also work wonders. Sometimes an outside perspective is all it takes to recognize that those negative thoughts are just that, thoughts, not truths. You can start challenging those damaging beliefs by becoming aware of your negative self-talk. Replace them with words of kindness and encouragement. Treat yourself like you would a dear friend, with love, compassion, and respect. Remember, you deserve to be your biggest cheerleader, not your toughest critic. 4. Do things you're scared of. We all have fears that can hold us back from embracing new experiences and reaching our full potential. Playing it safe won't always lead to growth or fulfillment. The best way to build true self-love and confidence is to start doing the very things that make you uncomfortable. Put yourself out there, take calculated risks, and watch how quickly your self-belief expands. Prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you think. Think about a time you conquered a fear, no matter how small. Maybe it was finally riding that monster roller coaster or performing an open mic night. Remember that rush of pride, that feeling of, hey, I did that. That's the essence of self-love. Looking your fears square in the eye and emerging victorious on the other side. I'm not saying you need to start running into burning buildings or anything extreme like that, but make a list of reasonable challenges that make you apprehensive yet excited. Start small. Maybe it's striking up a conversation with a stranger or signing up for that dance class you've been eyeing. Commit to checking one off the list every week or month. It'll be uncomfortable, even frightening at first, but each time you show yourself serious love and respect. Remember, growth happens outside your comfort zone. So embrace the discomfort, lean into the unknown, and watch as your confidence soars to new heights. 5. Take responsibility for yourself, for your life, and for the choices you make. Have you ever had those mornings where you just want to hit snooze and stay in bed? Or maybe you've wished to swap adulting for the carefree days of childhood. Trust me, we've all been there. Responsibility can feel like a heavy burden, especially when faced with tiresome tasks or daunting decisions. Responsibility isn't just a chore, it's an essential ingredient for fulfilling life. It's what makes us active participants in shaping our destinies. Sure, taking responsibility isn't always easy. We stumble, we make mistakes, and we fall short, but that's where self-compassion comes in. Instead of beating ourselves up over our flaws, it's about showing kindness and understanding to ourselves. Taking responsibility isn't just about doing the right thing. It's also about honoring and sharing our gifts with the world. It's about owning our actions and acknowledging their impact on others. Shifting into a person with this kind of self-love is especially tricky because humans are designed to repeat mistakes even when they don't want to. The key is to acknowledge our slip-ups, apologize if needed, and commit to growth. It's a journey, not a sprint, but each stumble is an opportunity to learn and become better versions of ourselves. 6. Celebrate your achievements and progress. Life isn't just about reaching the finish line, it's about celebrating every step of the journey. How often do you actually pause to celebrate your accomplishments, big or small? If you're like most people, probably not nearly enough. We're often so focused on checking off the next item on our to-do lists that we neglect to revel in or reward the wins along the way. Celebrating progress is an act of self-love. It means acknowledging your hard work, perseverance, and personal growth. You'd undoubtedly cheer on a friend's achievements, no matter how incremental. So why not be your own biggest cheerleader, whether it's acing a presentation or simply getting out of bed on a tough day? Every win deserves recognition. Make a habit of creating celebration stations for yourself. Jot down a running list of things you're proud of accomplishing, personal milestones, goals crushed, challenges overcome. Use sticky post-its and stick them everywhere. Include all the wins, big or small. Hey, a win's a win, from landing a big promotion to simply getting through a stressful week. Then refer back to the list whenever you need a shot of inspiration or a reminder of just how capable you are. So now that we've gone through the 6 steps, what's one small act of self-love you'll commit after watching this video? Comment below, let's engage. In the meantime, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Now give yourself a big hug and say, I am deserving, I am loved.